My name is Emily, and this is the story of how I found the strength to break free from the chains of a toxic marriage. When I first met John, he was charming and attentive, and I fell deeply in love with him. We were inseparable, dreaming of a future filled with love and happiness. But as time went on, the cracks in our relationship began to surface. The signs were subtle at first, the occasional late-night drink that turned into a habit, the way his eyes glazed over with a distant look. But soon, his alcohol consumption grew into a monster that consumed every aspect of our lives. The man I loved became a stranger, and the darkness within him unleashed a torrent of pain upon me. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across our living room, an argument erupted. John's voice was filled with bitterness as he accused me of never truly understanding him. The scent of whiskey lingered in the air, intensifying the tension between us. "Why can't you just support me, Emily?" he shouted, his words laced with frustration. "You don't know what it's like to be me, drowning in this sea of despair." Tears welled up in my eyes as I tried to make him understand. "John, I love you, but your drinking is tearing us apart. We need help." He scoffed, his face contorted with anger. "Help? You think I need help? It's you who needs help, Emily, because you're too weak to handle the truth." His words cut deep, piercing through the armor of love I had tried to preserve. The warmth that once enveloped our marriage had turned into a cold, desolate void. With each passing argument, it became clear that I was losing myself, suffocating beneath the weight of his addiction. The pain of his words echoed in my heart, leaving scars that couldn't be seen. I felt trapped, torn between my love for him and the realization that I couldn't save him from himself. That night, as I lay in bed, the sheets dampened with tears, I made a silent vow to find a way out of this darkness. Little did I know that the journey ahead would be filled with challenges, but it was a path I had to walk if I wanted to find happiness once again. And so, as I closed my eyes, my heart heavy with sorrow, I whispered into the silence, "I won't give up on you, John, but I won't lose myself either." The days turned into weeks, and the toxicity within our marriage continued to grow. John's alcoholism had transformed him into a volatile and unpredictable presence in our home. It seemed as though his every waking moment was consumed by the need for another drink, and with each sip, his anger flared like a wildfire. One evening, the air thick with tension, I mustered the courage to address the elephant in the room. I stood before John, my voice trembling but determined. "We can't keep living like this, John. Your drinking is tearing us apart." He glared at me, the veins in his temples pulsating. "Oh, so now you're a perfect one, huh? You think you're so much better than me?" "No, John, it's not about being better. It's about wanting a life together that's free from this darkness," I pleaded, my heart yearning for him to understand. He sneered, his words dripping with disdain. "This darkness you speak of, Emily, this is who I am. If you can't accept that, then maybe you should leave." I felt a stab of pain in my chest, my breath catching in my throat. The man I had once loved seemed irretrievably lost. The venom in his words seeped deep into my soul, eroding my sense of self-worth. Days turned into nights, filled with screaming matches and bitter insults. The walls of our home absorbed the echoes of our shattered dreams. John's addiction had taken hold of our lives, squeezing the life out of our lives, squeezing the life out of our love, leaving behind only the remnants of a fractured existence. During those moments of despair, I found solace in the support of close friends and family. They urged me to seek help, to protect myself from the storm that raged within our home. The darkness that had shrouded our love was finally unveiled, and the harsh reality of our situation became impossible to ignore. In a quiet conversation one evening, as the remnants of sunlight spilled into the room, I confronted John with a sense of determination. "I can't continue living like this, John. It's destroying us, piece by piece, he scoffed, a bitter smile playing on his lips. You're just being dramatic, Emily. It's not as bad as you make it out to be. I took a deep breath, my voice steady despite the turmoil within me. It is bad, John. You're hurting me, and I can't watch you destroy yourself anymore. I love you, but I can't sacrifice my own well-being for this. He looked at me, his eyes filled with a mix of anger and sorrow. Fine. Leave then. Maybe you'll finally realize how much you need me. His words stung, but deep down, I knew that leaving was the only way to preserve what little strength I had left. With a heavy heart, I made the decision to walk away, knowing that the road ahead would be treacherous but necessary. As I gathered my belongings and stepped out of our home, I couldn't help but wonder if there was still a glimmer of hope for us. But for now, I had to prioritize my own healing to find a way to mend the fractures that had spread through my heart. And so, I embarked on a journey of self-discovery, knowing that the path to healing would require courage and resilience. The darkness had been unveiled, but it was up to me to navigate through it and find the light that would lead me to a brighter tomorrow. In the aftermath of our shattered love, the weight of John's hurtful words continued to haunt me. I had left our home, seeking refuge with a dear friend who offered solace amidst the storm that had engulfed my life. It was during that time of solitude and reflection that the breaking point arrived, casting a stark light on the reality of our situation. A week had passed since I had walked away, and my heart still ached with the pain of the wounds inflicted by John's venomous words. In the quiet of my friend's home, I sat alone, surrounded by the remnants of my shattered dreams. The walls seemed to echo with the memories of our arguments, the bitter taste of his insults lingering in the air. As I stared out the window, tears streaming down my face, a quiet resolve washed over me. I couldn't bear to live in a cycle of abuse any longer. The love I once held for John had been eroded by his alcohol, fueled anger, and it was clear that his demons were consuming him whole. In that moment, I made a decision that would forever change the course of my life. I would find the strength within me to break free from the chains that bound me to a love that had turned toxic. It was time to take control of my own destiny. Gathering my thoughts, I reached for the phone and dialed the number of a trusted lawyer. The voice on the other end of the line offered guidance and support, assuring me that I was not alone in this battle. Together, we began the process of initiating divorce proceedings, laying the foundation for a future separate from the pain that had engulfed our marriage. Days turned into weeks as the legal battles waged on, unearthing the extent of John's lies and deceit. The evidence of his infidelity and abusive behavior provided the ammunition I needed to fight back, to protect myself from further harm. The truth unfolded like a dark tapestry, each revelation a painful reminder of the depths to which our love had sunk. One evening, as I sat across from John, the courtroom walls closing in around us, a glimmer of realization crossed his face. "You think you can just take everything from me, Emily. You think you can ruin my life." I met his gaze, my voice steady and resolute. "I'm not here to ruin your life, John. I'm here to reclaim mine. I deserve happiness, free from the pain you've inflicted upon me." He clenched his fists, his anger evident. "You'll regret this, Emily." But in that moment, I found a strength I never knew I possessed. The power of self-love and determination propelled me forward. I wouldn't let his threats or his attempts to manipulate and control me deter me from my path to freedom. As the divorce was finalized, the gavel striking with finality, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. The legal battles had come to an end, but the journey of healing was just beginning. I knew there was still one final act that I needed to undertake, a symbolic gesture that would serve as both closure and revenge. As I embarked on a week of liberation, seeking solace in the embrace of a supportive friend, a newfound sense of freedom blossomed within me. The weight of the toxic marriage I had left behind began to lift, allowing me to breathe more easily and find the strength to heal. During those days of solitude and healing, I discovered a sense of empowerment I had long forgotten. I reconnected with my passions, indulging in activities that brought me joy and a renewed sense of purpose. Each day, I embraced the opportunity to grow stronger, to reclaim the pieces of myself that had been shattered. One afternoon, as I sat with my friend in her cozy living room, sipping tea and basking in the warmth of her company, she looked at me with genuine concern. "Emily, how are you holding up? I can see the transformation in you, but I worry about what lies ahead." A soft smile played at the corners of my lips as I met her gaze. "I won't deny that it's been a challenging journey, but I feel a strength within me that I didn't know existed. I'm determined to create a future that is free from the pain I endured." Her eyes sparkled with admiration. "You're incredible, Emily. I've watched you grow through this, and I have no doubt that you'll find the happiness and peace you deserve." Encouraged by her words, I continued to focus on my own well-being, seeking therapy to heal the wounds that ran deep. The sessions provided a safe space for me to unravel the complexities of my emotions, enabling me to rebuild my self-esteem and regain a sense of self-worth. One evening, as I sat with my sister, sharing stories and laughter, she looked at me intently. "Emily, I've seen how far you've come. You've grown immensely, and I couldn't be prouder of you. What's your plan now? Where do you go from here?" A sense of determination settled within me as I met her gaze. "I'm going to focus on rebuilding my life, pursuing my passions, and creating a future filled with joy and fulfillment. I won't let the pain define me any longer. I am in control of my own destiny. With each passing day, I grew closer to the woman I wanted to become, a woman who would never allow herself to be silenced or diminished again." The liberation I had tasted during that transformative week became a driving force, propelling me forward on a path of self-discovery, resilience, and unyielding strength. As the weeks turned into months, and the wounds of my past marriage slowly began to heal, a simmering desire for revenge took hold. It was a feeling that had lingered in the depths of my heart, growing stronger with each passing day. And now, as I stood on the precipice of my plan, I knew that the time had come to make my move. Gathering my courage, I meticulously laid out the final pieces of my revenge. The divorce settlement had awarded me John's beloved car, a symbol of his pride and joy now transformed into a tool for my liberation. With a mischievous grin and a heart pounding with anticipation, I set my plan into motion. On a crisp morning, the air charged with a sense of excitement, I met with a reputable car dealer to finalize the sale. As the sleek new vehicle gleamed under the showroom lights, I couldn't help but feel a thrill of satisfaction. This was my chance to turn the tables, to reclaim my power and leave a lasting mark. The car dealer, a charismatic and savvy businessman, eyed me curiously. "Congratulations on your new purchase, ma'am. This is an exceptional choice. I must say, you seem to have a fire in your eyes. Is there a story behind this purchase?" I chuckled softly, relishing in the intrigue that surrounded me. "Oh, there's definitely a story, one that speaks of resilience and the pursuit of happiness. This car represents a fresh start, a symbol of my independence." His eyes twinkled with curiosity. "Well, I'm all ears if you care to share." Leaning closer, my voice low but filled with conviction, I revealed the tale that had brought me to this moment. "You see, this car was once owned by a man who belittled and tore me apart with his words. He thought he could control and manipulate me, but little did he know that his actions would be his own downfall." The car dealer's eyebrows rose in intrigue. "So, this purchase is a form of revenge?" I nodded, a mixture of determination and satisfaction evident in my expression. "It's my way of taking back control, of showing him that I am not defined by his cruelty. This car represents my liberation, a reminder that I am the author of my own story." Impressed, the car dealer extended his hand. "Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, ma'am. I have no doubt that you'll make the most of this opportunity. Enjoy your new ride, and may it carry you toward a future filled with triumph." As I drove away in my new car, the engine humming beneath me, I couldn't help but relish in the sweet taste of revenge. The wind whispered through the open windows, carrying away the remnants of a painful past. A sense of empowerment coursed through my veins, fueling my determination to never again allow anyone to diminish my worth. Days turned into weeks, and my life continued to transform. The car became a symbol of my liberation, an emblem of the strength and resilience I had found within myself. With each passing mile, I left behind the echoes of John's hurtful words, replacing them with the soundtrack of my own triumph. One evening, as I stood before a breathtaking sunset, the vibrant hues painting the sky, I whispered to the wind, "Thank you, John, for underestimating me. Your cruelty only fueled my fire, leading me to a life more beautiful than I ever imagined." In that moment, I realized that my revenge was not about causing harm or seeking vengeance in a malicious sense. It was about finding my own happiness, about rising above the pain and emerging stronger than ever before. With the taste of revenge still lingering on my lips, I embraced the future with renewed vigor. I had reclaimed my power, liberated myself from the chains of a toxic marriage, and rewritten my story. The sweet taste of revenge had transformed into the intoxicating essence of freedom. A freedom that would guide me toward a life filled with joy, love, and unyielding strength.